take it away. Let's have a big hand of applause.
Hey everybody. Hey. How y'all doing midday? The first thing I'm going to have you do is to stand up. And I'm going to have you reach your arms up if you can. Really stretch, 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 stretch. Releasing all tension and everything that you've been carrying this morning. Really letting go of all toxicness and negativity. As we breathe, 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 breathe. Are you ready?
Yes.
You ready for me to talk to you? All right, take a seat, guys. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here today. And all of you that I've met and all of you that I've heard, and how wonderful, how impactful. I've walked away and have gotten some wonderful nuggets, and I'm going to apply them. It's a lot of different things, and sometimes as leaders, we don't think, but I'm one that lives with the mindset I can always grow and I can always learn. And I try to share that with others. So, as she introduced me, I am Dr. Claudia B. Walter. I used to say Claudia. And I am a social entrepreneur. So my talk today with you is this: the joy of humanitarian social entrepreneurship. And so I want to talk about a couple of things. One of the things I'm going to discuss with you is not just a sector. Social entrepreneurship is not just a strategy, it's a calling that crosses faith traditions, professions, industries, and zip codes. It is the joy of humanitarian social entrepreneurship and the work it is doing to stabilize and revitalize communities. And those communities with people, there are people there. They're not just places, they're not just buildings, they're not just merchant areas to shop in. There are people actually there. And so for us is the work that we believe in, each one, regardless of somebody's background, is uniquely positioned to advance wherever you sit. Each person in here is socially impacting somebody's life with the different things that you do. And so for me, the joys of social entrepreneurship is I didn't create this. I didn't conceptualize it. I wasn't thinking about it. I didn't even know what would happen. And there's a story behind this. And so this is a mission. This is a vision, and I was given the vision. I'm not the one who, put the mail together. He delivered it to me. I am driven by my faith and my commitment, but my faith is this. It is the belief that lives can change and be transformed by servanthood. I believe that leaders should be servants, and therefore it is the investment into others. This is what the Power Alliance of Christians Group Ministries is. It is a subsidiary branches. We have Heart to Heart Forged by Fire Inspired Moments. We have our collaborative branch, which is our outreach branch. Then we have Resources Unlimited. And then we have Sunrise Christian Counseling Agency and Institute, where we are empowering others. We believe in holistic mental health. I'm a holistic counselor and coach. And so I wear a lot of hats. I'm a financial advisor in some areas. I was a tax consultant. And so everything goes to the core of my faith as I'm teaching others how to live and how to leverage their own purpose and reach their destiny. So one of the things I want to say is this. Our branches, my vocation is my passion. And so one of the things is this entity, this corporation, we are incorporated, we are a nonprofit, was birthed out of trials, tribulations, a diagnosis of chronic illness, a divorce which was tumultuous, and so many other things, even to the point of suicidal idealization, which was me. Because the pain was so deep, I said, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore, Lord. I can't. And I had an encounter, and he said, get up. You've never given up. Yes, he loved on me. He was patient and kind with me. But however, I had never given up. And so one of the things was getting up. And some time went by. And as I got up, I have 6 beautiful jewels. They're wonderful. My oldest is 40, my youngest is 27. And so in that, they have learned how to serve and watched me serve and watched me be diligent and push through the trials and the tribulations. It was ingredients. Your pain is an ingredient to your purpose. Your pain is an ingredient if you allow you to be used as an ingredient to your transformation, it is amazing what will happen as you are used as a vessel to impact somebody else's life. Yes. And so trauma is a choice. We can stay in trauma, and this is what I'm saying. I want y'all to hear me clearly. You can stay in trauma and allow it to continue to shape you. And because of what I do and the different arenas that I stand in, I've seen people decide to live and stay in their trauma. But then some people have made a choice. It takes one choice to get you to step out and then come forward. The first step, you end up coming forward. My first step out of my trials, my troubles, my tribulations, my betrayals, my disappointments, I made a choice. I don't want to do this anymore. What can I do? While my mother was walking through death, we had went away for vacation. The Lord said something to me. He said, I want you to go back. And my son-in-law passed while we were away at 26-year-old. My daughter was pregnant with their third child. And she calls me screaming on the phone. My mother's in the hospital. They're telling me it's a possibility she may die. Then I get a call about my son-in-law dying. She found him dead on the floor with the plate stuck out and the baby sitting at his feet. I'm like, Lord, what in the world is going on? I am crushed. What's happening? My kids we've sent my children back because I have to stay with my mother. This vision, this mission was birthed out of that moment. And I'm told as I'm walking through and I want to stay at the hospital and small still voice says to me, no, don't stay at the hospital. Go back so you can get a good rest. And the Lord is speaking. He's constantly talking to me. And I'm like, what is going on? I just need a break right now. My mom, I'm having to coordinate her health. My daughter is screaming. I had to call my former spouse and say, go to her immediately. I don't know what's going on, but she's losing it. And she's going to end up, not only are we going to lose the baby, we're going to lose her. And that was my main concern. We're going to end up losing her because she's frantic right now. And she's found her husband dead. And so out of that, it's several days later, the small still voice, the Holy Spirit whispers to me, go back and do a day of empowerment for me. What? What? That's why I say I didn't conceptualize this. I had no idea how big this would be and that this would also be international. And so in this process of birthing, that's why I say, let your pain, let it become an ingredient. That was painful, hearing about my son-in-law. Couldn't get to my daughter at that time because I couldn't leave my mother. Not understanding or knowing if my mother was going to make it or not. And Lord, he said, I got you. And I got her too. I had to depend. I had to trust. It takes risk to do what we do. In defining humanitarian social entrepreneurship, it is this. The core concept is this. Practice identifying critical human needs among undeserved populations. I was already serving. Me and my kids had already begun to do what is called bags of love in our community. And we would go to different houses and things like that and just knock on people's door. I was being trained to be a resourcer for this, so that I could go out and bridge the gap between somebody else's needs. A part of our organizations that we do community advocacy. I just finished up helping a 75-year-old woman who lost her home because of misinformation. But we were able to go in and structure where she not only didn't have to go to a shelter, but she was able to stay in her home at least for another almost a year. From last year to present, where she just moved out. We were able to coordinate our volunteer teams on ground to help her pack her house and move. We were able to secure another company to come in and negotiate where it would take moving a 4-bedroom, 3-level house a couple of $1,000s to $800. We were even in the process, we found money for her where she had tucked it in her house in different places. She now is thriving. She has a diagnosis of cancer. And so we were able to walk her through that, and I've seen her countenance change. We also were able to, as we saw the court open her case back up, because you know foreclosures, once it's done, it's ratified. She ended up walking away with her surplus, over $100,000 and some thousand. We were able to step in and negotiate with that company because she was so stressed to the point where she was getting called, she's banging her head on the wall. Mental health, affecting her health, physical health. How could she get better? She would have died sooner than later if someone hadn't come along, and I'm thankful we were able to assist her. It is distinguishing, It is distinguishing features. Community-rooted design, innovation, accountability tied to measurable human outcomes. It's not just about finances. It's not about what you get, but it is the lives that you touch that transform. Let your misery sometime birth. It doesn't mean we haven't had trials. It doesn't mean we don't get misunderstood sometime about purpose and the reason why we're doing what we're doing. But the humanitarian dimension is this. Communities are not problems to be managed, which some political officials, we deal with a lot of political officials. I get to tables, I get that. At one point I stopped because I got tired. I get tired of people talking about what you're going to do and you don't do nothing. I'm like, what y'all doing? You were hired for a reason. So one of the things in advocacy, we teach people, you have a voice. And we're teaching our youth, because these mantles, where will your business, where will your purpose, where will what you do and your impact, when you leave off this earth, who is going to pick up the mantle and run with it and go forward? Who's going to carry it to the next generation? Because what you do matters. It has life in it, and it has sustaining. So you need to be training your successor now to take over. And this is what we do with our youth. We want them to understand. We have a movement called MOVE, LEAP, Leadership Enrichment Advocacy Mentorship Program, where we teach them, make your voices echo. We want them to understand you can change your community. Don't move from your community. Get back into your community. You are the investment in your community that will cause it to revitalize and cause it to be sustainable and cause it to bring change. Those things that you want, those social ills out of your community that you want out, we ask them and teach them how to do that. But we don't just do it with our kids. We do it with those that we're serving also. We have conversations with them. Social capital theory is this. Pittman, communities thrive when relationships, trust, and civic participation are strong. Humanitarian social entrepreneurship builds networks of mutual aid and shared civic identity. The asset-based community development is this. Map what communities have, the skills, the culture, the leadership, not what they lack. Build on strengths for higher adoption and durable outcomes. I learned this as I have traveled overseas doing the same thing. Building different infrastructures and that, working with different things. A lot of times as Westerners, when we go to various countries, we really think we know it all. We're so arrogant sometimes. And so one of the things we have to do is humble yourself, ask questions. Well, that same principle, I apply it when we go in different communities to drop hubs. Our hubs are to make ready a people prepared for God. What is that? What do I mean by that? God has birthed us. We have purpose and destiny, each one of us. Our lives impact one another, and we birth something forward. Every day we get up, we should think about that. Why am I here? What am I doing? I tell people, live your life with purpose, on purpose, and in purpose at all times. And I wasn't always that way. I was not the woman I am standing here today. But I'm so grateful that I have transformed and come forward. And I'm grateful that I'm allowed to see many of the people's lives I have touched and how they've come forward too. And so we got to think about that. What are we impacting? What are we changing? Don't think because it's something small and not on a national or international platform, you are not making a difference. You are making a difference simply because you woke up and you are breathing. But what is it that you want to change? And so this is changing lives. We have to ask questions when we go into communities and we're doing work or we're working with clients. I'm a consultant, so I have to sit and listen to my clients sometimes. And sometimes it's tomfoolery. I won't tell y'all that right now. Sometimes the stuff that they've gotten themselves into, I'd be like, Lord God Almighty. But I listen. I practice active listening instead of talking all the time. Because I can talk and I can get chatty, but then I can get real quiet. Because I'm a natural introvert. People don't know that. I used to hide in a corner when I come in the room, and please don't call on me. But each time I was pushed out, and then I truly became into my true, authentic self. So even though I have a little introvert, I'm not really an introvert. And so the wonderful thing is, and I'm going to hurry up, y'all, because I just got my time. Systems thinking, so I'm going to skip over what I was going to say. Systems thinking, poverty, education, workforce economics, and poverty. Humanitarian social entrepreneurship leaders understand the root causes, feedback loops, and leverage points for lasting change. Human-centered design begins with empathy. Every program is iteratively refined based on feedback from the people we serve. As I said, you gotta ask questions. Economic activation. This is, if you notice in this room, there are many people doing various things, but it's all up here. As I noticed, it was interwoven within my presentation. And so leadership pipeline, identify, training, mentoring, deploying homegrown leaders, lived experiences. This is what we do. We take those from the community, and many of them have come to the side of the table. They're serving as executive teams. Some of them have gone on to be